Well, let's get more details on the foreign investment in Africa. We're joined by Mr. Aly Khan Satchu, an economist here in Nairobi. Thank you very much for joining us here on Africa Live. Now,
thank you, Beatrice.
China is investing heavily on the continent. The Brazilians are also investing. The US has made a return, so to speak. Now the Japanese. Why this interest?
So I think Africa's in a sweet spot. We've gone from a famine of foreign investment to a feast. And I think it's really a remarkable situation that we find ourselves in. I think it makes complete economic sense. Africa has embarked on this very fast-paced convergence with the rest of the world. It's about building the roads, building the railways. This is not rocket science. It's the plumbing of a continent. And I think that's what's attracting people in. The latest conference to which you refer, which is the 5th Tokyo Investment Conference for Africa, it seems to me a lot more serious. There's much more money that's being put to work here. It has a bit of breadth and a bit of depth. And I think there are many reasons behind it. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, I think, would like to poke one in the eye of China. You have this island situation going on. China's made this remarkable advance on the African continent. And I can see for Shinzo Abe, it makes sense to tell the Chinese, look here, we're here as well. So it's very interesting to watch. On a risk-adjusted point of view, we live in a world where they're printing money with Abenomics, with the Fed. China, of course, is finding a lot of the currencies holding being devalued. And therefore, Africa becomes very attractive in this world of close to zero interest rates and practically free money.
China is finding value on the African continent from its investments there. But how is Africa, though, receiving all this interest, so to call it, from the foreign investors?
So this is a very interesting question. I mean, Africa is not a single homogeneous unit. There are many different countries, and we don't speak with a single voice. And therefore, I think some countries are much smarter at the way they're dealing with this deluge of foreign investment, this crowding in of money, which we're finding, right across the continent, especially in the sub-Saharan middle. I think that South Africa's fallen out of favor a little bit, as is Egypt. It's not difficult to see why. But I think ultimately what I would say is this is Africa's moment. I think this deluge of money we're seeing, Japan being the latest, will turn into a tsunami. And the question is, how are we going to organize ourselves to uplift our continent in the shortest space possible in this really unique opportunity?
How can Africa, though, use this interest in their favor?
Yeah, I think, what we've got to do is we've got to look at, I think President Zuma calls it beneficiation. And we've got to be capitalists, but at the same time try to uplift as many of our people as possible. And if you look at it from that point of view, the total benefit, I think there's an opportunity to do it now. Just look at the crude oil calculations. $60 billion is coming into the continent per year from now on, just on our crude sales. That's a huge amount of money.
All right, Mr. Aly Khan Satchu, we'll leave it there for the moment, but thank you very much for joining us here on Africa Live.